We've been wondering when we'd get our first official trailer for Titans Season 4 on HBO Max. Of course, after getting our first look at the season at New York Comic Con, we got our first teaser trailer, we got our clips, we got basically our first looks at Season 4. Now today, we finally have the Season 4 official trailer, which, super exciting. Wish they dropped it at a better time and not a random time on a Wednesday night. Yeah, today's Wednesday. Duh. But yeah. So we got the trailer alongside this beautiful looking poster. I actually really like the look of this. And I remember like the first time I looked at this, I was like, whoa, why is there like barely anybody on this poster? It's because, I'm used to the past two seasons looking at posters with like 20 different characters on there. And now they're finally going back to the core group, which I think is going to be really nice, because that's been another one of the big complaints about the show, is that there's just so many characters that you don't get to spend enough time and focus on each one individually. That's one of the reasons I think I like Doom Patrol more, is because one of that show's strengths is character development, because there's just the core group of characters that you have, and it's not adding in brand new huge characters every single season, at least not too much, at least not to the extent of Titans. But Titans looks like Season 4, we're going back to our core group. We got our original 4 plus Connor now, and also Tim Drake as well. With our villains that are going to be coming in this season, which is definitely going to be an interesting thing to talk about in this trailer with Deathstroke. That's pretty awesome, so we'll talk about that when we get to it. But guys, we are going to go ahead and break down this trailer. But if you saw the trailer for yourself, make sure to let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. But without further ado, let's jump into this. So we start off with Dick and Rachel. They are investigating some sort of crime scene here, and you get this flash of this creepy hand, and Dick says something about like, whatever happened here, or whoever did this, they're trying to hide what happened. And then of course Rachel, she's gonna come in, use her powers, be like, well, I can show you what happened here. So we get a cool power up moment for Rachel in this episode, or in this part of the trailer, and she is brought into this vision where we're really getting the horror vibes, which I actually really like, because obviously it fits in with the main overarching story of the season with Brother Blood and the Church of Blood. So that's really cool, kind of harkening back to our horror, darker vibes from season 1. So that's really cool to see. And she is attacked by this person slash creature. Now I'm not sure who or what this is, but I am assuming that this has something to do with the Church of Blood. Is this Brother Blood himself? It looks kind of similar to, this mask looks similar to the mask that we saw Brother Blood is actually going to be wearing in this season. We never actually get to see him suited up in this trailer. I don't believe this is him specifically, but possibly just a groupie of the Church of Blood, just a cult member. That's what I'm assuming is going on here. And of course Dick is like, whoa, Rachel, what'd you see? And she, of course, is always going to be like, oh, I don't know. So then we got the Titans, all suited up here, minus Tim. And you have a voice of some lady that says you should not have come back to Metropolis. And you see a bunch of dead people hanging there. And this is where we come into the Church of Blood. Which, another thing, the Church of Blood was an Easter egg in Titans Season 3, in like the first episode, I believe. But that was, I think, in Gotham City. I'm pretty sure that's where it was, or yeah, I'm pretty sure the Church of Blood Easter egg was in Gotham City. So the fact that we're in Metropolis for Season 4, does this mean that the Church of Blood is in Metropolis, or it's like a multi-locational type thing? That would make a lot of sense. It's a pretty big cult, so have multiple locations, especially in such these big DC cities such as Gotham City and Metropolis. But you get some great looks at those there. And then we're presented with the name of the Temple of Azarath, and this lady here is like, all right, the Temple of Azarath is all yours, Mr. Luthor. So we have Lex Luthor here, played by Titus Welliver. Did a video breaking down his introduction clip that we watched a couple weeks ago, and just the first look that we got a little bit before that. So obviously we knew he was going to be in this season. And I've been really excited about that because that means we're going to be getting some more expansion on Connor's story, Superboy. But I did not expect him to be involved with the Church of Blood. But if he has kind of attained the Temple of Azarath, which of course connects to Raven, aka Rachel, and we heard in the teaser trailer that the cult kept chanting Azarath Metreon Zinthos, which of course is the classic chant that Raven says in the Teen Titans cartoons. Not sure if she does in the comics. I'm assuming she does. So it's really interesting that Lex Luthor is involved here. And then we get a little bit of a couple of shots here from that clip that we saw where Lex Luthor is contacting Connor. So Connor is likely going to be relating to all of this as well. We got a cool snake here. Not sure where this is or whose snake it is. I thought at first maybe that's Gar, just because we know he's going to be turning into more animals this season. We've already seen him as a snake, so maybe he's a snake again, but the snake doesn't look green, so I'm assuming it's not him. And then we get some ninjas. So this is another clip that we saw actually prior to New York Comic Con, I believe, or maybe it was a little bit after. I don't remember for sure. But it was of Nightwing taking down some ninjas. And I was just so confused about how and why are there ninjas in this season. Like, how are they going to come into all this? It makes a little bit sense, again, when we see Deathstroke later on. But here's just some cool shots of Nightwing fighting some ninjas. And, Dick is talking to Connor about Lex Luthor and how this is a guy that you do not want to mess with. He mentioned specifically Lex Luthor is the only guy that Bruce Wayne was ever afraid of. I find that kind of interesting. Like, was Bruce Wayne never afraid of the Joker? And what makes this Lex Luthor so menacing and so feared? Like what's so bad about this guy? So then Connor's like, oh, well, Superman doesn't fear him, so I don't either. There's been obviously a lot of fan theories, like maybe we'll see a Superman appearance here. I kind of doubt it, but, it would always be cool, for sure. And then we're introduced to another character here with Jinx. So Jinx is going to be a new character in the season. She's going to be kind of an anti-hero type character, because in the comics, of course, she is mainly a villain, but sometimes a hero as well. So she's going to be helping the Titans in this season, because sounds like she's got some mischievous antics going on, but we have the Titans dealing with Brother Blood, Mother Mayhem, and the Church of Blood, so they, or at least Dick, decides like, alright, we need to fight this bad magic with some good magic, so let's go talk to Jinx. So we get a cool first look here at Jinx, and this is exactly what Corey says about like, oh, bad magic fighting with good magic, and Jinx does not want to work with them. Obviously, I'm assuming that's, she's going to change her mind eventually, but at least at first, she's not into the idea. And so we get this really funny exchange between the three of them. And then we're introduced to another villainous presence in this season with Sebastian Blood, who I think is going to be such an interesting character, because the way it's been set up here, in all these promos, Mother Mayhem is pitched as kind of like the head of the Church of Blood. And you even see that in the poster. She's the one that's featured on there, not Brother Blood. But he's going to be the one that starts off as this guy that's working a dead-end job. He's kind of nerdy. He's kind of an outsider. He's a nobody. He doesn't have anything going on. He's maybe craving more from life. So it'll be a story of his downfall and rise in power as this evil cult leader known as Brother Blood. So we get a great first look at him right here. And also the hesitation. You see the fear in his eyes when he is presented with violence. And obviously that's another thing that is likely going to be changing for that character. But you see, again, going back to kind of some stuff we saw in the first season, this really reminds me of some stuff we saw there with Trigon and his whole supernatural thing. You got a guy, he's got scissors, going for the eyes, and Sebastian Blood, he tries to stop this. I'm assuming he's not going to be very successful in this case, but this is likely Mother Mayhem trying to recruit him, and we see this more here. I actually don't think that is Mother Mayhem. This is just some other lady that works with maybe Lex Luthor specifically, because she doesn't really look like a culty person, but she is the one that said, here's the Temple of Azarath, Mr. Luthor. So I'm assuming she works for Lex Luthor. Maybe this is even Mercy Graves. The last time we saw her was season 2. I don't remember what she looked like. It's been years. So maybe this is the same character. I don't remember for sure. But we got Sebastian Blood right there, and he's super concerned about this. Again, he's going to be changing his tune, and he's going to be the one that becomes the cult leader here eventually. I mean, you literally see right here, he is drenched in blood. He's getting into some dark stuff here. And then speaking of Mother Mayhem, there she is right there. So maybe it is the same character that we just saw. I just can't completely tell for sure. But she looks really cool. Here, speaking of cool, we have a great shot of Connor. He's using his laser eyes, his heat vision. And he is fighting Deathstroke. So we'll talk about this more a little bit later. But Superboy is fighting Deathstroke. And you look in the background, you can see that there are some hostages, there are some bystanders. So this is really cool, getting to see Superboy versus Deathstroke. Again, we'll talk about him more later in the trailer when we get a better shot. There's another shot of him using his heat vision. Here's Corey doing a cool Starfire power up here. And then this is probably one of the most interesting shots of the trailer to me. Because we get a whole section here dedicated to Gar, aka Beast Boy. And obviously that's because we know he's going to be having a huge growth in the season. He's going to be finally getting an actual superhero suit, all that stuff. So that's super cool. But what's interesting in this shot to me is this. Who is this? Well, just based on, the silhouette of this character, female, I'm assuming, and just the way her hair looks, I believe this is Rachel. I think this is Raven. Now, why does she suddenly now have white hair when before she had like this dark bluish black hair like she does in the comics? Well, I believe maybe this is because they're doing a storyline similar to White Raven, where in the comics, or at least in the cartoons, Raven kind of has an enlightenment type thing and goes from wearing all black to wearing all white. Now, I'm a little confused by this because this is what I thought they were going to be doing in last season with her being in Themyscira, unlocking all those powers. That never ended up happening. I mean, she wore white, but she still isn't really the character of Raven. She's still growing into that moniker. And with this season being all about Brother Blood, the Church of Blood, Mother Mayhem, and the Temple of Azarath, we know it's going to be a big Raven season. So I'm assuming there's going to be something big going on here, and this could be possibly related to her having this enlightened version of her powers and just honestly gaining more control and officially becoming Raven. Now, like I said, this section of the trailer is dedicated to Gar. So back to talking about Gar. We have a great shot of him in his new suit there. I love the way he has the green paw print on his shoulder. And we have him awakening in some sort of different plane / dimension. So I'm assuming this is kind of similar to what happens to Rachel when she has her visions there. He is having some sort of vision here, and he is just laying on the ground upon this tree, which looks like has a bunch of possums hanging from it. Honestly, the only reason I know that is Ice Age. Oscar and Crash. Was his name Oscar? I don't even remember. No, Crash and Eddie. The Crash and Eddie, the possums from the Ice Age movies. I just remember they were always hanging upside down on the trees. So I think that this is, it's been confirmed that he's going to actually turn into other animals this season, which is just mind-blowing. Beast Boy, 3 seasons in, he's only turned into a tiger, a snake, and a bat. That is it. So it looks like he's going to be turning into at least a possum. Hopefully we can get him to turn into like maybe a gorilla or a dog. Honestly, anything. A dinosaur would be pretty cool. Beast Boy can turn into dinosaurs. That would be awesome to see. So it's definitely really cool that you got more of a spotlight on this character, and I'm just excited to see what else he does in the season. Hopefully, just like how Rachel's likely going to officially become Raven, hopefully he finally becomes Beast Boy. Now we go back to the Connor side of things. So he is meeting up here with Lex Luthor, and he's actually getting arrested. Now, I'm assuming this is Lex Luthor. You can't really tell here, but he is being arrested here, and we see that he's slammed against the ground, everything. He's now in prison, of course, with kryptonite being used to weaken him and everything. But Connor gets arrested in this season, apparently. I don't really know why they put this in the trailer, but they did anyway. So Corey is visiting him in prison, there's all that. You get this shot here of where he's being taken down, but that, I believe, is Joseph Morgan's character of Sebastian Blood, who, of course, eventually will become Brother Blood and become a big bad villain to the Titans in this season. Now, like I said, Lex Luthor, he's having his little meeting with Lex Luthor right there. I love how Lex Luthor says, like father, like son. Because, of course, that's how it is. Lex Luthor is the one that created him. He combined his own DNA along with Superman's to create Superboy. That's why Superboy, he's such a cool character, because he has not only the powers of Superman, but also has the brains and the intellect of Lex Luthor. And then you got the Titans, they're just hanging out as a family at like a bowling alley or something right here. We got some Dick Corey going on here. Nice to see that they're finally getting back together. Hopefully stay together this time. You know, a lot of people have been waiting for this, so I know people are excited about that. And we have another interesting part here where Dick is talking to Connor, and he says something about, like, you're part of our family, and if you leave us, that's gonna hurt. So, I'm assuming that it's going to be obviously something to do with Lex Luthor. There's been some theories that maybe Lex Luthor is trying to entice him to join him. So maybe Connor is going to be brought to the choice of leaving the Titans and joining Lex Luthor, or staying with his family. I'm assuming by the end he's going to end up staying with the Titans. But again, big season for Superboy, so I'm really, really excited to see all of this play out here. But then we get to our old demons. So we get another cool shot here of Jinx. At least I'm pretty sure that's Jinx again. But more importantly, we have Deathstroke. The return of Slade Wilson. At least we think. So, yeah, this was probably the best part of the trailer for me, just getting to see that Deathstroke's back, because this was a big surprise. I didn't know this was going to happen. But how is it happening? Because the last time we saw Deathstroke was in the season 2 finale. Deathstroke died. Or at least we think he died. You know, he was stabbed, and he was kind of just left there. We actually heard from the showrunner that there was originally supposed to be another scene, or a post-credit scene, confirming that he was actually alive. It showed him in the hospital and all that stuff. That never ended up happening. That scene was never released. So I'm not sure if that's canon or not. Like, you know, did he survive, or did he actually die? I'm assuming, you know, because of his powers, his regenerative powers, you know, kind of Deadpool style powers, Wolverine type powers, he probably survived that. I'm assuming this is still Slade Wilson, played by Issei Morales, so that's going to be really cool to see him return. But then again, there's another possibility that this is not Slade Wilson. Maybe this is his son, Grant Wilson, who is yet to be introduced, just wearing the suit, taking on the moniker of Deathstroke. We don't know for sure, because in all the times we see him in the trailer, we see him in two different scenes. Well, I believe it's the same scene, but at two different parts of the trailer, he's wearing the mask the whole time. So you never get to see who's actually under the mask. So I feel like there could be possibly a big plot twist reveal that this isn't actually Slade Wilson, but fingers crossed that it is, because I really loved that character in season 2. And then we got a cool shot of Mother Mayhem there. This cool Church of Blood crony. Also, Tim Drake, we know he's going to be going on this journey of finally becoming a hero in the season, hopefully getting a cool Robin suit by the end, but also he's going to be having a romance going on with Bernard from Star Labs. So this was teased in that, I believe it was the second clip we got, where it was right before Lex Luthor contacted Connor. And we had this moment where Tim wanted to send a picture to this guy Bernard from Star Labs, who made him this bow staff. And so this is Tim Drake's boyfriend in the comics. So it's really cool to see that they're adapting that storyline here. You could tell from that scene that we saw in that clip that he had a crush on him. So that's really cool to see that that's going to be playing out in this season alongside his hero's journey and hero's origin here. And then we got another cool shot of Raven. Here's the Titans all united. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is the official trailer for Titans Season 4. New season streaming November 3rd with the first 2 episodes. It's going to go 5 or 6 episodes, I think. And then it will be done with part 1. And then Doom Patrol will come on. That'll be done with part 1. And so then Titans will likely come back at some point in January. And then Doom Patrol will finish up in February. So I'm really excited for this, guys. You know, Titans, it's been over a year since season 3. Well, actually season 3 ended sometime in October, so it's cool that we're getting back to the show once again. There's a lot of potential here. Let's just hope it doesn't end up like season 3 where it had a really, really strong start and then just went downhill from there, because it went downhill and it fell hard. So let's hope that the same is not the case for season 4. Hopefully there's some improvements. I mean, just based on these trailers, it looks good. But then again, that's what we said with season 3. So we'll see how this goes, but I'm definitely really excited for it. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about the official season 4 trailer for DC's Titans on HBO Max? Are you excited for season 4, again, streaming November 3rd? What were your favorite parts of the trailer? What do you think about the return of Deathstroke? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I keep you up to date on everything goes on in the DC life.